What is the story you tell down the road years from now? What's the headline?
Well, I think we, the couple that got stranded on honeymoon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a great story, but definitely an expensive one. We'd never forget to leave that part out,
Yeah.
how expensive it was.
Olivia and Raul are back home in South Africa after their lavish and unexpectedly long honeymoon to the Maldives. It was supposed to be a 6-night vacation in paradise, but it turned into 21 days of anxiety and uncertainty. The newlywed teacher and butcher wondered if they would ever get home with the world shutting down due to the pandemic. The New York Times first shared their story.
So our first flight was cancelled, and then that's why we stayed the additional 2 weeks until we could get a chartered flight home.
That chartered flight cost them $6,000.
We were quite glad to be going home because we start taking everything for granted. But we were also quite nervous because we had to go into a state quarantine facility.
Take a look at the beautiful resort where they stayed.
It did start getting a bit repetitive.
They were the only guests there for 3 weeks. Online, rooms go for $750 a night. Their days were filled with sunbathing, sunsets, snorkeling, and sharks. Raul was even bit by one during one excursion and had to get 8 stitches.
The water, it's so warm, you can spend hours in the water and snorkeling, seeing all the fish and the baby sharks, and so that was definitely a highlight for me. And then also the warm weather. I mean, now in South Africa it's freezing cold, so it was just so nice to be outside and in the sun and just spend all your time outdoors.
Do you think that you got bored after a while? Did you run out of books to read?
I think we did, yeah. I'd be lying if I said we didn't. I mean, Raul started playing soccer with the staff, and we started spending a lot of time with them.
The staff at the resort were also stuck there, they say, and Olivia and Raul became friends with them. One night, they were surprised with a romantic dinner on the beach.
I think one thing we also didn't expect, like going on holiday, would be the relationships we made with the staff there. So I think that was, for me, a highlight, just realizing that there are other people there who are going through similar situations as you.
But in the back of their minds, the burden of a financial strain.
You're always thinking, hey, how much is tomorrow going to cost? Obviously, the negativity at some point overshadows the great times.
It's one of those hypothetical questions that people always get asked. You know, if you're stranded on a deserted island, what's the one thing that you have to have with you? What would you both say is your answer?
I'd definitely say sunscreen, because in the beginning you get there and you just want to be out in the sun and tanning all day, but by the second week we're just trying to avoid the sun and you start burning.
As for another vacation anytime soon, they are not planning one. I'm Leigh Scheps for InsideEdition.com.